Marincess is a new budget meta deck that can compete with the best decks of the format and even the format coming up. With cards like Marincess Argonaut, which is a once per turn spell and trap negate, in conjunction with the trap card Marincess Wave, you're looking at quite a formidable deck on a budget. This deck has many one-card starters in the form of Blue Tang and Seahorse, and brand new extenders like Marincess Spring Girl and Dive. With near infinite recursion and the ability to play 12 hand traps, this deck is a huge threat for sure. What's going on, guys? My name is Susu from Head-to-Head Battles, and in today's episode, we're going to be going over my take on the Marincess deck. Now, if you guys like content like this, make sure to subscribe, like, and comment. Hit that notification bell down below, and comment down below if you agree or disagree with my card choices or what you would play to spice this deck up even more. And also, if you guys need any TCG accessories like deck boxes, playmats, binders, and sleeves, you guys can head over to HeadtoHeadBattles.com and pick them up today. All right, now without further ado, let's get into this damn deck profile. All right, so the first three cards we are playing in the main deck, and it is a tight 40, is Marincess Blue Tang. Now, this is definitely one of your best one-card starters because when you do normal or special it, you can Foolish Burial or Marincess Seahorse to your graveyard, and then when you link it off, you can chain block your blue slug by making this chain link 2, and then excavate the top 3 and add a Marincess card from your deck or from what you've excavated. Next, we're playing triple Marincess Seahorse. Seahorse is probably, again, it's another one-card starter because if you add it back with Blue Slug, you can special it to go into Sea Angel. But definitely, if you open any form of, Blue Tang and Seahorse, you're having a really good time, okay? So Seahorse, again, can special itself to a zone, where your link monster is pointing to, and it's always a good Foolish off of the Blue Tang. Next, we're playing the new Marincess Extender from, I believe it was Legends of the Deep. It's the newest set. It's Marincess Spring Girl. Now, this is a card that if your normal summon does get interrupted, this is definitely a card that can help you kind of push through that first, kind of step of interruption. Now, Spring Girl says I can banish a card from my graveyard, or rather a Marincess monster from my graveyard, and then special it to the field, which is really cool. And then when you link it off to summon a Marincess card, you can mill one card, and if it is a Marincess card, you can inflict 200 damage to your opponent. Next, we are playing double Pascalis. You could bump this up to 3 because when you do normal this, it will allow you to special another Marincess monster from your hand, but we decided to go with the one Mandarin instead. You can also play Sleepyhead or Marincess Sleepyhead or whatever it's called, and effectively that card is definitely, it could be better, but it is a level 5 and is not normal summonable. So that's why I opted to go for Mandarin instead. But the one downside to Mandarin is that you do need 2 Marincess monsters on the field to be able to use its effect, and sometimes you just might not be able to get there. All right, next, for our Swap Frog package, we're playing triple Swap Frog and the one Ronin Tonin. Realistically, you're not going to be going into this too often because if you have to use the Swap Frog effect multiple times a turn, you're effectively losing card advantage, so keep that in mind. And that is it for our monster lineup. Next, for our hand trap lineup, we are running triple Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring. I still feel like Ash is definitely one of the best hand traps in the game because it's just kind of a catch-all for any deck. And Branded, although is not as popular as before, Ash and Branded Fusion is still really popular. And on top of that, when you move into the next format, Ash is going to be really, really impactful. Okay, next, we're playing double Nibiru, and we're playing double Effect Veiler. Now, the reason we play these ratios is for Crossout Designator, and I mean, effectively, we're still running a lot of hand traps, but I think this is definitely the best way because one, this deck folds really fast in Nibiru, so being able to cross out Designator and call Nibiru is really, really powerful, so just keep that in mind. Okay, next, for our spells, we are playing triple Signet Mining. So essentially speaking, you have 6 really good starters, okay? Triple Blue Tang and triple Seahorse are all one-card starters that can generate full combo if you don't get interrupted. Now, Signet Mining is just another 3 copies of Blue Tang most of the time, because if you only open Pascalis and 4 hand traps, you're not really playing the game as much as you would like to. So truthfully speaking, we are playing about 16 to 17 names, and 9 of those 15 or 16 are really, really powerful, so keep that in mind. Next, we are playing double Marincess Dive. The reason we don't play 3 is that this card by itself does absolutely nothing, okay? And what I mean by that is if you only see this card and you have nothing in the graveyard and you don't have Battle Ocean, it's a dead card, and that's why we bumped it down to 2. Okay, next, we're playing 1 Battle Ocean. Sometimes It hurts because they can Cosmic Cyclone away your Battle Ocean and you'll never get it back. But the only reason we play one is because you can recur it back with Marincess Coral Anemone. But realistically, when it does get outed and you can't add back a recurring card off of Anemone and you have to add back Battle Ocean, it does feel kind of bad. Next, we're playing triple Crossout Designator. Again, this deck folds to Nibiru like you wouldn't believe it, and Crossout Designator really does help us get us there because you can't call by the grave, in Nibiru because it's not in the graveyard, okay? Next, we're playing triple Forbidden Droplet. Now, Forbidden Droplet is an absolute staple in this deck, and it's for one reason and one reason alone. When you go Battle Ocean effect and you attach all those monsters equipped to your Argonaut or whatever it may be, you can use Forbidden Droplet and send those equipped as monsters to be able to negate and negate multiple monsters. So keep that in mind. Next, we are playing the one Called by the Grave just to round out our spell lineup, and for our traps, it's a very simple trap lineup. We are running the triple Infinite Impermanence, as well as the singular Marincess Wave. Now, Marincess Wave is an absolutely amazing card, especially if you have Argonaut on the field, because Marincess Wave basically is a infinite impermanence from the hand, as well as leaving your Argonaut unaffected by card effects, which is insanely broken. Okay, so let's move over to our extra deck. All right, so the first link monster we are playing is Marincess Blue Slug. Now, on summon, Blue Slug will allow you to add a Marincess monster back from your graveyard, which hopefully is Seahorse, because then you can just special that for free and then go into your next one, which is Marincess Sea Angel, and we are playing two. Now, with Marincess Sea Angel, you can either grab your Marincess Dive, which is an extender if you already have Battle Ocean, or most of the time, you're gonna end up grabbing Marincess Battle Ocean because that card is crucial to your combo, as well as it allows you to chain block all of your Marincess cards. Okay, next, we are playing double Coral Anemone. Anemone is really good because it will special a Marincess to a link that it points to, and on top of that, when it goes to the graveyard, you can add back any Marincess card, making this card probably one of the better ones to equip off of Battle Ocean. Nay, you should be equipping this off of Battle Ocean, because even if you kind of link it off, you can grab that Coral Anemone effect when it hits the graveyard from the spell and trap zone, so keep that in mind. Next, we are playing the one Marincess Marbled Rock and a Marincess Coral Triangle for our link 3s. Now, Marbled Rock isn't one that you go into too often, but let's focus on Marincess Coral Triangle. Now, Coral Triangle allows you to banish a water, discard a water, and allows you to add your Marincess Wave trap card from your deck to your hand, which is why we only play one of those in the deck. Now, when this is in the graveyard and your opponent, let's say he breaks your board, but he couldn't put up much because you do have a lot of hand traps, Coral Triangle allows you to banish herself and then pretty much soul charge equal to the link rating of 3. So you can summon back a Coral Anemone, or you can, plus a Sea Angel or a Blue Slug or whatever you may want. Okay, for our link 4s, we are playing Marincess Great Bubble Reef. This card is really good because in the standby phase, you can banish a card and then draw a card, which is really powerful. Next, we're playing our brand new Marincess Aqua Argonaut. Now, this card is really interesting because one, it's a once per turn spell and trap negate, which is insane. All you have to do is move an equipped monster into the main monster zone, which is insanely broken. And on top of that, when you have all 3 equipped, plus the Marincess Wave and Battle Ocean, it is a 4300 beat stick with 3 spell and trap negates that's unaffected by card effects, so keep that in mind. Okay, next, we are playing our access code lineup with Splash Mage, Access Code, and Transcode Talker. Now, you have to be careful when you go into this line because a lot of the cards in this deck actually lock you into water monsters, and Transcode Talker is an earth, and Access Code Talker is a dark. So keep that in mind. That's really important. There are ways to kind of get into there, and I'll have a combo video up for you guys. Just make sure this video gets 1,000 likes, and I'll have it up to you guys, okay? Now, the last 2 cards we are playing is Bahamut Shark and Totally Awesome. The one flex spot in this deck is actually Bahamut Shark, because you can easily make Totally Awesome, go in the Swap Frog line. If I would change anything for the format coming up, it would definitely be the Bahamut Shark, and just swap this out for an Abyss Dweller, because Abyss Dweller is going to be insanely good in the format coming up. All right, guys. So for the side deck portion of the video, let's move over to the computer and talk side deck theory instead. All right, guys. So we're here at the computer, and we need to talk about side deck theory and the cards that I'm actually playing in my side deck. All right, so the first 3 cards that I'm playing in my side deck is Droll and Lockbird. Now, Droll and Lockbird moving into the format is going to be really good, and it's actually already pretty good right now as is, and it's an amazing hand trap to have. Now, the reason we don't play it in the main deck as a cross-out target is because we don't really care about Droll at all, right? I mean, Droll stops us from getting Wave, but that's pretty much about it. Because, well, I mean, we're getting Battle Ocean regardless anyways, because that is technically our first ad, so Battle Ocean's enough, trust me. All right, so the next card we're playing is Harpy's Feather Duster. That's a one of. This deck does and will lose to back row very heavily, so Duster is amazing to have. All right, next we're playing Triple Cosmic Cyclone. The reason we're doing this is because Artifact Scythe is still a card, and we are extremely reliant on our extra deck, so we're definitely gonna need to be able to out the Artifact Scythe, and that's why we are playing the Cyclone. And against Elec decks and other back row decks where they sort of need their back rows to be able to play, Cosmic Cyclone is definitely a great addition to any side deck. Okay, next we're playing the one Twin Twister, because again, we lose really bad to back row and Mystic Mine. We literally do not have an out to Mystic Mine, so just keep that in mind. Okay, next we're playing Triple Dimensional Barrier. D Barrier is just really good because with all the pile decks going around right now, you can call Xyz for Splites coming up. You can call Fusions for Tier Elements coming up. You can call Synchros for Sword Souls, because that is still a very good and very consistent deck. Dimensional Barrier is going to be really good against, most decks. And on top of that, you can still activate your cards because you can't call Dimensional Barrier and say Links. And you pretty much only play Links, and you rarely go into your Bahamut Toad line anyways, so D-Barrier is definitely a safe pick. Next, we are playing Triple Evenly Match. Again, it's more back row hate, right? Because, like, realistically speaking, we could be side decking, like, maybe Triple Ogres and then, like, be able to swap out hand traps for what's more impactful. But most of the time, if you interrupt your opponent enough and, they have, a mediocre board with no Omni Negate, Evenly Match will definitely help you get there. And on top of that, it's good against both back row and combo decks. So definitely keep that in mind, because most pile decks have maybe one Omni Negate and no spell and trap negates. It's literally one Omni, lock you out of the extra deck, and like 50 million monster negates, but Evenly definitely gets you there. Okay, next, we are playing the one Red Reboot. Now, Red Reboot is really good, although if you can't really set up like kind of a really good board after you Red Reboot, you are technically giving your opponent a huge advantage because you only have 4,000 life points, and they have an extra trap card on the field. All right, guys, that's it for me today. If you guys enjoyed today's video, make sure to subscribe, like, and comment. Hit that notification bell down below, and comment down below what cards you would put in the deck to make it even spicier, or if you agree or disagree with my card choices. And guys, I know that you've already heard the news. The creator of Yu-Gi-Oh! Has passed away, and I chose not to make a standalone video on it because I just don't think, at least by my own moral compass, I just don't think that's correct. But I do want to kind of put out there, like, life is precious, and we really only, like, get one shot at it. Don't be afraid to go outside because you don't know what's going to happen, but really kind of, like, live each day as if, you don't have another day, and just really learn to appreciate the people that you have around you. Make sure you tell your loved ones that you love them. You never know what's going to happen, and, I would hate for something to happen to anyone who's, a part of our head-to-head community, or even any other community as is. Just as a human being to another, I think that, that level of mutual respect, like, I'm living life, you live yours, and just being able to, really go out there and really change someone's life, how, the creator of Yu-Gi-Oh! Takahashi did for us here in this community. Just being able to build relationships and communities under the banner that he created, that is Yu-Gi-Oh! I think it's really just, I think it's great. I think it's great. Him passing, I think, will have a huge impact on the game. I don't know what kind of impact it's going to be. I'm not going to sit here and speculate that ever. I think we should just, I think the best way to honor him is to play the game as he intended, and just really keep it about, having wholesome interactions and really just being able to love one another while enjoying the same hobbies together. All right, guys. So that's just kind of, I had to get it off my chest. So thank you for listening. If you guys enjoyed this video, please like it and share the video, because this, I know this is a really good budget deck, and I think you'll like it too. All right, guys. So I don't want to take up any more of your time. My name is Susu from Head to Head Battles, signing out.
What's up, guys?
If you haven't subscribed, make sure to click that button right there in the middle.
Also, if you haven't watched that video that YouTube is recommending you, it's probably crazy, alright? Go watch it. This is Susu from HeadtoHead Battles.
Signing out.
Signing out.